Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode or chapter of RWBY Volume 5, which is on chapter or episode 9, whichever is more fitting for you. It's pretty simple in a certain way and somewhat of a shocking situation where it's put into, but you know, I shouldn't get too surprised of why that I should be shocked, but it's something that should be expected, or maybe should be expected, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm getting at here. If you guys watched the chapter or episode, you would know what I'm getting at. So, if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that, after the opening, obviously, after every opening, we have to it that Raven is tending to her weapon right now, and apparently her subordinate, or possibly second in command, if I look at it a certain way, Vernal ends up telling Raven that there's some guest here that wants to speak with you, Salem's forces. And therefore, Raven knew that this was coming, and therefore decides to put on her mask and talk to them. They end up exchanging a couple insults, apparently, in a certain way, depending how you look at it, before they get into the real business here. Which apparently Cinderfall ends up telling her, I was told that you have one of the Maidens here. But if I'm wrong, and she summons her fire as a threat to you better tell the truth, or I'm gonna burn you and all your freaking clan down to the ground. And therefore, Raven, on the other hand, decides to ask Vernal to show herself. And Cinderfall, which she calls herself, says, so, this is the long-lost Spring Maiden. Prove it to me. And therefore, Vernal ends up summoning clouds, and she knows how to manipulate the weather, which is something that a fall maiden knows how to do. We know of this back in Volume 3, apparently. We all know that. So that just shows her proof. And therefore, they get into the real talk after Vernal showed her powers as a spring maiden, or a maiden alone. Therefore, after what's seen here, they end up asking her to cooperate with them to let them get the Relic of Knowledge at Haven Academy. Raven, on the other hand, does not want any part of this at all, but Cinder told her that you became part of this the moment you hit a maiden inside your camp. So you have an option here, and pretty much Watts gave Raven the offer here as well. You work with us, we get what we want, and that's it. We get the Relic of Knowledge, and we'll leave you alone. That's what Cinder also suggests as well, and also warns Raven that if you know our master, you can't escape her grasp. And even if you fought against this, you have a slim chance of even escaping. And we have to it that Raven, on the other hand, says, I do not like the fact that I trust you guys, and this has to be built on trust. And Watts is like, you're not in a position to even negotiate right here, lady. And Raven has one, how am I supposed to say it? One option, or one recommendation, or one thing required, if anything, is that she wants her brother dead. This really shocked everyone. They go like, you want your brother dead? Like, Crow alone? She goes like, yes. If I help you get the relic, he'll be on my butt for a very long time, and will be in major heat and trouble. Even for me, for my tribe. And therefore, Watts says, I understand where you're coming from here, and I understand you don't trust him. Even Raven says so herself, and she's already having a lot of troubles already. But Quats, on the other hand, says that if we fought Crow and the others, he's not going to fight quietly. There's no way he could do that. And therefore Raven says, Crow is not that good. We all attack him once, he'll be dead in a heartbeat, and it'll be over in just a second. And we have to it that Cinder agrees to these terms, but Watts says, I only have one objective here, and that's to get the Relic of Knowledge, you know? And the White Fang wants to destroy Haven Academy in 2 days. That is why they told Raven to decide now with us or against us. This was beforehand. Before when Raven wants Crow dead. And therefore, we have to it that Cinder agrees to these terms, and Watts warns Cinder, like, if you get into trouble with a grudge over a child, and we all know Ruby took her eye and gave her a major scar on the face, and etc. We all know that. There's no denying that, and there's no way we're gonna forget about that. Her humiliation by full force from Silver-Eyed Warriors, etc. And we have to it that Cinder tells Watts not to worry, etc., and she will handle it. Then we have to it that Raven and Cinder shook hands in agreement. So, looks like to me, Raven, on the other hand, is willing to kill her own brother, even though, like, they are related by blood. I can understand where she's coming from, but still, it's not something that I am fond of. And, of course, there's a scene that switched to Blake's house while Blake's father is holding out his own against Corsic and Fanic, I believe. I think those are the guys' names, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it has to be. And, of course, he was close to, like, he was close to getting killed in a certain sense, but, of course, like, Sun, on the other hand, comes in to help out along with Blake, and Blake asks her father where's her mother. But apparently, Blake's father says, I don't know, but you should go look for her. While me and your friend here, who he needs to prove himself if he's not a waste of space, take on these two. And of course, Sun's like, well, I want to take these guys out the moment I saw them anyway. And of course, like Blake's father says, you'll have to get in line. He goes like, okay. And then, of course, he tells Sun to shut up in a certain sense. And it switches to a scene with Raven and Vernal, which apparently she is the Spring Maiden. I'll reveal a couple details later of what's to come, but yeah. Aside from that, we have to it that Ruby alone. No, I mean not Ruby. Sorry, forgive me. I'm off track. The scene between Raven and Vernal comes to a point where, do you really think they're gonna leave us alone after we fulfill our objective with them? Of course, Raven says no. Obviously, no. Salem only keeps those who are very useful and uses them as puppet strings in a certain sense. In order for us to have a better chance to defend ourselves against Salem, we must take the Relic of Knowledge. And, of course, Vernal asks in a concerning way about, like, what about your daughter and so forth. Raven's like, I don't really care anymore. I don't care about her. She made her choice. I'm thinking about mine. First, you're willing to sell your brother out and kill him, even though I can understand where you're coming from, but still. And now you're just willing to sell out your daughter, which I'm pretty sure you and Ty, how am I supposed to say it, took some pleasurable time to make your daughter. I'm even shocked myself to see to it that you're willing to sell them out just to save your own tribe. But I understand why she's doing this, but still, going that far to try to protect your own tribe, understandable. Like I said, I understand her, and I repeated this 2 or 3 times or 4 times already in this video, but still, karma's gonna hit you back twice as hard should you really go along with this plan. But even if you try to go back on your word with the Relic of Knowledge of getting it yourself, yeah, karma is still going to hit you hard. And therefore, Raven tells Vernal, and she knows that this road won't be easy, but we have to do anything what we have to do for the tribe. And Vernal, therefore, follows her orders like no tomorrow, understood. And therefore, I think Raven just went off to become a raven and then flies off into the distance somewhere else. Of course, there's the Raven or Crow at that Haven Academy, so who knows if she flew there, but I'm pretty sure she couldn't fly that really fast unless she had a semblance, but I don't know. You guys get the point. But we see to it that Crow gets a little message with Oscar when he goes Ozpin needs to talk to you. And therefore Crow goes with Oscar to talk with Ozpin. Then the episode ends up with Blake and Ilya facing each other and getting ready for combat, ready to kill each other or something. And that's about it. So, yeah, just by this episode alone, etc., I could see how much Raven is going in her power all the way to try to protect her tribe. Either way, she was backed into a corner. I won't deny that. But wanting her brother dead and then not caring about her daughter, including the other people, etc., it's pretty nasty. Very, very nasty. And when it came to Vernal being the hidden maiden, I think, I will be honest with you, I did find out when I did my research a bit, when going to certain sources here and there, because I was just bored out of my own mind and just wanted to look at certain details of the chapter or episode that I might have left out. And of course, that's when I found out that Vernal is actually the Spring Maiden, which is to my shock when I did my research on it, which I don't even know why I was shocked anyway, because there had to be a way that it was hinted at ever since Vernal somehow summoned a lightning from in the camp when Yang and Weiss was about to clash with the tribe. And what else? Yeah, just the lightning from the tribe, but aside from that. But overall, that's what 90% of the episode was in a certain sense, while the other 4% is about Blake's invasion at her home while she's trying to look for her mother, while Sun and Blake's mother fights against Corsac and Fennec, and Blake getting ready to clash against Elia. While the other 1% or less is Crow talking to Osmond, etc. Of course, Raven making the decision to try to get the Relic of Knowledge for her own tribe, for the tribe, etc. Even means selling out her daughter and Crow to death. I can see where she's coming from, but still. It still upsets me to that point that she's willing to go that far. But, Salem has her ways of manipulation behind the scenes with just strings alone. You guys get the idea. So, until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. So, I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!